You can pick Shannon Sharp.
Ooh.
Ray Lewis.
I got to go with
Jerry
Shay
Rice.
Sharp. Got to go with Shay Sharp every day.
See, I picked Rice.
Well, I mean, tight end's not as useful, but I mean, skipping Shannon.
Well, I know.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Couch Thoughts podcast for this week. It's episode 11 from a couch. I'm Rocky Persinger. With me, as always, Brent Pickens. What's up, Brent?
Pretty good. How you doing, man?
All right. Well, I mean,
You know, that's
oh,
what's up.
oh,
Yeah, pretty good.
pretty good. What's up? Pretty good. Okay. Well,
Little jitters.
yeah,
Little nervous.
we in there.
Oh boy.
But here we are, guys. That threw me for a loop there. That threw me. I don't know. We ain't gonna cut it either. We're just gonna leave it. Just roll right in there. So, how's it going, guys? Thanks for listening again. This week we got a couple things going. We're actually my cousin John. He requested over the YouTube that we do our top couch co-op games, since we talk a lot about couch co-op and how we miss it. So we're going to go over that this week. We got a couple other things to go through, but first off, so we're going to go into what have you been playing, and I'm just going to start it off this week. For me, it's simple, man. NFL 2K5.
Greatest football game ever made.
The greatest football game ever made. And I rolled back to it, and because I had to.
Yeah, that's.
And I got, I started my franchise with the Packers. I made some trades. I made some cap room. I signed a free agent. I mean, it's just, the easy. They make it really easy on the franchise there to play. And then, just the gameplay of 2K5, man.
Well, the gameplay and to me, like going back, because it's been years since I played it.
Yep.
But the reason that was one of my favorite games was the presentation, because you play your game, and then at halftime it takes you, it goes to the studio and it shows Berman's in there showing highlights of other games around the league. And I don't know, I always thought, and it shows trades.
Yep.
And just going back, this was in, like I said, probably 2005, right?
Yeah.
And
2004, I guess. 2K5,
yeah.
It was 04.
So they were doing this in 2004, and it just blows my mind that Madden has got. They don't even try. I don't know. To me, the 2K5 is probably my all-time favorite game.
Well, we talked about this a million times, and people listening might get tired of us talking about it, but just get used to it, because NFL 2K5 is awesome, and the new Madden's kind of sucky.
Yeah.
So, just the gameplay in it, I was looking at it. I got a replay to show you later, Brent, but there's, I ran a pitch play with Amon Green, and, Favre pitched it to Green, and my tackle pulled out to the right, went upfield, actually blocking people, and then I was following my fullback and had my hand on his back, and then he blocks somebody, and then I can cut off the block. Yeah. And so on Madden, what would happen with that? The tackle would pull, and then he'd just stand there. Yep. And then you would outrun your fullback.
Yep. And
then if you somehow miraculously got past your fullback, a defensive tackle would warp off of an offensive lineman and tackle you. But with this, if the defensive line beats their man, they beat their man. If they don't, they're blocked. Yep. With Madden, it's just like, oh, there's a huge hole there for me to run through, my running back. And then it's like, nope, this guy warped over in the middle of it. Yeah. And it's still, Madden 19, it's still like that.
You'll see a big hole, and then I don't know. I don't understand. I don't understand what they're doing, because the running thing is harder this year, which they've done that locomotion crap, whatever. Yeah. But you'll see the hole, and then you'll go to cut, and then they break through the line before you get a chance to hit the hole.
Yep.
But to me, if you're Todd Gurley, that shouldn't be a problem.
Well, that's because the gameplay is too slow. It's too slow in Madden. The players, the running back, it takes him 3 or 4 seconds to get to the line.
Yeah.
And that's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
In real life, it should just be, boom, hit the hole, you go. But in Madden, it's not like that.
It's weird though, because I've tried to do a franchise thing. I can't do it. I've picked like 8 different teams. I just can't do it. But when I'm playing the team mode, the ultimate team, I have fun with it. It don't seem like it's like that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's where the difficulty is lower or what. I'm not to all pro yet, but if I see a hole, I'm hitting it. It's almost like there's 2 different run styles in the game. The franchise mode and then the ultimate team is like separate. I don't know. It's weird.
Maybe just because your players are better on your ultimate team.
Maybe, but I mean, I tried one with the Rams.
Yeah.
With Todd Gurley.
Right. And Gurley, he's the best running back in the game right now, probably.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I could not. I think at the end of the game, I had like 30 rushing yards.
Oh boy.
On 24 carries. Like, I am not. Ooh. I'm not joking. Now this was on pro, but I mean, it shouldn't be that hard.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man.
That's the big thing with me on 2K5, the running game. I mean, you can hit little holes, tiny, holes in the line. You can hit them, and you're running right past guys, and they're not, it's not warping into an animation to try to tackle you. That's the problem with Madden. I've been watching quite a few videos, and I posted a video to the Couch Slots Podcast Facebook page about this, but why 2K5 or in that case it was 2K8, but either way, is still better than Madden today. And it just the running. I'm running. I'll show you this replay, but I'm running right by guys, and it's just really smooth and it's awesome. And then even when you're running up the middle, running up the middle in Madden is just impossible. Yeah, you're not going to do it. In this, man, if you see a little gap, you can get up in there. You break off 4 or 5 yards at a time, and it's just really realistic. Yeah. And and I'm on 2K5. I play on the pro difficulty, and on Madden, there's always like this. Okay, rookie, you murder people. Yep. Pro is pretty tough, sometimes for me because I'm not good at. I didn't say I was good at these games, but I do like them. Yeah. But pro on 2K5 for me, going back and picking it up, it's perfect difficulty, man. I mean, I'm winning games, 24-17, 24-10, 32-24. Stuff like that. It's really realistic in the simulation.
Well, see, that's to me that's something. If you go, I think it was NCAA 06 when they had the greatness game, great games. That's what I remember because the difficulty wasn't so far in between. I don't want to go out and throw 5 picks in the game, but like I want to be close.
Right.
I want to be able to run, but not just dominate people. And to me, those around that era, that's when the games were the difficulty. They I don't know if they tweaked it or what, but it was even. Yeah. You still it was competitive, but it wasn't too hard. You know, you were able to do stuff, and that's what I miss. I don't know what they've done to change that. Yeah. But it.
Well, and in Madden back in the day. So look at NFL 2K5 and then look at Madden 2005. Yeah. Madden 2005 is a far better game than Madden 19.
Oh yeah.
Like Madden 2005, I don't know if you remember the franchise mode in it. This was the one with Ray Lewis on the cover. It's 05.
Oh yeah.
Okay. The franchise in that game, you could edit your stadium and stuff, and then you could buy new tunnels, new bleachers, new whatever, and then you go into the game and it's there. That's your stadium. Madden 19, man, if you mess around with your stadium, it doesn't do anything. In the game.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of what they've done with the coach player that thing. Yeah, which we talked about that. Yeah, but I do remember that.
Combined franchise, is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's stupid.
Like yeah, it's
because back then in the off season, you had so much money you upgrade your stadium, you could do all this, and to me that was the biggest part. I had fun with. I had fun with it just as much as scouting the players and getting for the draft.
Yeah, see, that's the thing, Madden and 2K were pretty even back then.
Yeah.
And I make this analogy all the time. I made it before on here, but it's like it's like the WCW and WWF.
Yeah.
Right? When there was competition around, everything was good. And then, like back to what you were saying about the presentation.
Yeah.
They had this sports center and all this stuff, and so after on 2K5, after you complete a week, you can watch the sports center for that week.
Yeah,
and then it shows all the scores, all the highlights.
Doesn't even show the top 10 or something, plays of the week or something.
I don't think it does the top 10, but it'll do a few highlights throughout.
Maybe that's what.
But yeah, man, and then so in 2006, EA got exclusive rights with the NFL. They also got exclusive rights with ESPN. And, and that's still that way until like 2022 or something, like 2020. It's still that way. And they don't use the ESPN at all. They don't use the ESPN presentation. It's some like stupid EA Sports broadcast or whatever. They don't use ESPN at all. And why are they not using Sports Center, man? Why are they not using that? They have the official license. I'll tell you why. It's because they don't have any competition.
Yeah.
They have no reason to. They have the only game. They cornered the market.
Well, see, I think that's why I know NBA Live it's been had off, it just come back a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But I think that's why the 2K and NBA EA are getting closer now.
Yeah.
Is because 2K they've been putting out the top of the stuff the past several years. Now NBA Live is starting to make a run at them.
Yeah.
So they're pushing each other, and they're putting out some really good games. But you have to have that competition. You have to have somebody pushing you, because if it's just you out there, you're going to go for the easy money. You're going to go for the we'll change a few things. Mm-hmm. We'll add some more animations. Do this, and then we'll put it out and make $1 billion or however much they're making.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you're going to go for the easy money, so you're not going to add on, not going to add in the ESPN.
That's exactly right.
Or all the the other stuff. They're not listening to the fans.
That's exactly right.
They say they are, but that's my biggest. That's why I love 2K, because every year they listen to the fans.
Yeah, they say we're going to do this, this, and this, and they do it.
Yeah,
and
that's what NBA 2K's been doing for the past 7-8 years.
Yeah. Back to 2K, 10?
Yeah.
So, that's 8 years.
Yeah, now. 8 years. I mean, every year they've listened. I don't know. I'm a big 2K fan, and I really hope, they either remaster the 2K5 or do something to put, I know they can't get the rights to ESPN. But
I did hear a rumor that they were going to remaster NFL 2K5 and put it out. I don't know how that would work with all the player likenesses and whatever.
Well, go old school. Do the old teams. I'd pay money to play those.
Well, and that's what they did in All Pro 2K8.
Yeah, and that was a fun game.
Really fun game. But I don't know. Another thing about 2K5, I don't know if you remember this or not. When it came out, it was $20.
I don't remember that.
Madden was $60. It came out, it was $20.
That's crazy.
They did $19.99. That's how much that game cost.
Oh, I think I do. Yeah, because it was right on the case.
Yeah, $19.99 is how much that cost. Madden cost $60.
Yep.
Everybody went and bought 2K. 2K sold way more copies, than Madden, and they ended up making about the same amount of money just because it was $19.99. And even with that, it's not a perfect game. It was really common with those. I know every one of my friends that had
the sound.
The sound.
Yep, the sound went out.
The sound went out on your copy of the game,
yep.
And you had to buy another copy.
Yep.
But even if you do that, you're still $20 cheaper than Madden.
True.
So I just think we see what in NBA 2K10 or whatever year they started coming out with that again. What that showed is, when there's competition in the market, 2K came out and they're like, oh, well, we got to be better than NBA Live.
Yep.
So 2K comes out with NBA 2K10 and they just murder the market.
Well, and they murdered it too because they put stuff in here that you didn't see in a basketball game.
Yep.
They put in the Jordan moments. You had the top 10 that you had to recreate. You had to recreate the flu game.
Yeah.
You had to go out there and drop 60 on the Knicks.
Yep.
You had to go in there and get 20 points in a quarter. I mean, it and that's what I wish they would bring back. And that's kind of what sucks about my biggest gripe with 2K right now is they took that out.
Yep.
Put it back.
They took it out because they're getting lazy, man.
Whoever your cover athlete is, do their top 10 moments.
Yeah.
Or top
Which is
20.
why Pickens got burned on the Kobe edition.
Yeah, I did. The Kobe, the Kobe edition, I was all excited because that was his last year. I paid like $100 for it because I thought it was going to have all this in it.
All the moments and stuff, just like they did with Jordan.
Oh, no. Oh, well, from my player, you have Kobe's jersey and some other things. Well, I want the moments.
Yeah.
That to me, that is my favorite thing about the sports. And I'd love to see them put out, like, take it back to 2000 or something.
Yeah.
And then say, okay, take it back to 2000, the sports thing, do an NFL game, do an NBA game. Take it back to 2000, and then you can put in the actual draft classes.
That's a freaking great idea.
I'm telling you, I'm big on, and 2K has the old school teams. They've been putting them in there more and more. Well, I love that edition, and you can take them into to do a franchise with them, but I don't know. But I would love to see them do something like that.
That would be awesome because I'm going back to 2K5 right now, right? And 2005 is the year that the Packers drafted Aaron Rodgers. And so there's a couple ways you could actually get Aaron Rodgers in the game, right? They have this thing you can turn on where you can edit rookies. Mm-hmm. So anybody that you draft, you can edit them. So I could make, number 12, Aaron Rodgers, like 99 overall, and just get him into the game. But, I really wish that I could, even though I traded all my picks away for my defense, I'm building a dynasty with the Packers, man. I brought my defense from a 74 up to an 88 with moves and got more cap space now than I did when I started the game.
Not bad.
I mean, I'm rolling hard, but I've traded away all my draft picks to do that.
Man,
so I don't have a pick until like the 5th round.
So you're not drafting Aaron.
I'm not drafting Aaron. I could though if I had that creative player on. But I really wish I could go in there and draft Aaron Rodgers. That's a great idea. Go back to like 2000, have all the draft classes in there, and just be able to draft players.
I mean, how cool would that be?
That'd be awesome.
Go to 2000, and then you could play until and then.
I wish I could program video games.
I know,
so I could roll in there and just and go back to 2000 and draft people.
I think it'd be awesome.
That would be legit.
If you don't do that, that's fine. But just put out an old school game. Remaster one. I don't care, but that's when I really enjoyed them. Was around I loved when I don't know. I love the old school games, sports games, and I'd love to see them do that. Take it back 8-10 years.
That's legit, man. That's a great idea. But Madden 2K, I don't understand though. 2K, just do that. Right, they could make that game now. Probably they just have to get a deal with the NFL Players Association.
Yeah,
they wouldn't even have to have a deal with the NFL, right? I don't know how all this works, but I would even take right now. I would take a 2K football game with made up characters.
That's fine.
I would not even care one bit. I would just make up teams, make up characters,
give them different names. That's fine. That'd be.
There is a game out there, though. I don't know if you knew this. The Canadian Football League has a football game.
Really?
It's Canadian football, and they changed it for this year. It's like maximum football.
Where'd you buy that at?
Well, I think you can only get it on the PlayStation Store in Canada. But
it's tough.
Bear with me here. 2K, roll up to Canada. Get the rights to the Canadian football. I don't care if there
you go.
I don't care if there is 3 downs and 120-yard field.
Well, their rules are wonky. That's all I'm saying.
The rules are wonky, but
if you ever watch the game, it's insane.
It is. Their field's longer. They have 3 downs instead of 4.
The goalpost is the middle of the field. It's freaking me out.
But man,
the end zone's like 40 yards deep.
Yeah, well, it is. But think what 2K could do with it, man.
It's a lot wider too.
Well, I mean, it very well could be. I mean,
it's wider.
But that
freaks
just,
me out.
That's literally a bigger playing field for 2K to play around with.
Bigger playing field. All right, that was nice. I liked it.
But there's this team developing the Canadian football game every year. And I think 2K could come in and buy that studio and just be like, hey, we're gonna give you a few people. You're gonna work on Canadian football. We're gonna make it good. So they can just go that way. I would take that. I would take an American rules football with made up teams and made up players.
Yeah, just do it. Pull the trigger. Stop being a pansies and put out a good football game.
Put out a good football game.
Come on, 2K. Quit being scared.
Just do something.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care if you got the NFL license or not. Just throw something out there, because Madden, I stopped buying it, honestly. Yeah. I mean, I know you're having fun with the Ultimate Team right now.
Yeah, but I mean, that's all I'm playing. I can't play the franchise. It's I don't know. They didn't really change much on it.
They didn't change crap.
So a little bit of the presentation's different. You got Jonathan Coachman on there. But
I do like some Coach, but I mean
he's not in it enough. But I don't know, man.
I just they need to do something because me and Brent, after we get done with the podcast here, we're gonna play a game or two of 2K5.
Yeah,
and we're gonna have to pull the couch up to the TV.
We're gonna have to,
and
I'm gonna have to dominate.
2K5.
I mean, I can't be the Cowboys. I can't go with Quincy Carter.
Quincy Carter, man,
I can't swallow that pill. But
they have who was the I'm a little rusty on my Cowboys knowledge from 2005, 2004. They had a Bryant at wide receiver, and it wasn't Dez.
Bryant?
Yeah. It was like, starting with an M or something. I don't know. Anyway.
I don't know.
I just thought it was funny. They had a Bryant at wide receiver, and it wasn't Dez.
That is weird. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Talk about Dez, man.
They should have Ismail on there.
I think, yeah.
Rocket.
Yeah.
They called him Rocket. He had a weird first name.
Yeah.
Might have to pull the Rams out on you.
Oh, boy. You're gonna pull Bulger and Isaac Bruce,
Torrey
Holt, man.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to play with the. Well, I don't know. I might. Yeah. I don't know who I'll pull out.
I'll just have to kick his ass like old Tom.
That blatantly never happened.
Happened every time.
Oh my gosh.
You heard it here first.
See, these people don't know the difference either. They don't know that I whoop you every time.
Well. Not every time.
And then
the one time I'm going to get you.
No, the one time.
No, you turn the damn system off.
The power went out.
DJ Shockley was driving Georgia down. They were going to win it all.
Build a team around that.
Build a team around that. No, I would not.
You're not going to build a team around Shockley.
Not going to build a team around Shockley.
Oh boy.
Well, he was rolling, juking and jiving,
shucking. And then the power went out.
No,
the power went out to my TV.
The power went out to your PlayStation.
Just to the PlayStation, yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
That's what happened. I don't know how that's crazy how that happened.
That is weird. That's
but okay, so after a 25-minute rant about 2K5 and Madden, I think we should just probably go in. Well, actually, what have we been watching? Brent wanted to talk about a little Arnold movie called Eraser.
Rocky's not a big fan, but
I'm not liked it. I like it, but it's not my favorite Arnold movie.
But I do agree with you. To me, Eraser, Commando, I'm drawing a blank.
Total Recall,
The
6 Day,
The
Running Man,
all of them. To me, they were all around. They had the same.
They weren't around the same time, but they had the same feel.
Yeah, they all had the same feel.
Except Commando is a little different because Commando is kind of his first big movie besides Conan.
Yeah.
In Commando, he was like flipping cars over.
Well, it cracks me up. His truck has flat tires. They just kidnap his daughter.
He rolls down the hill.
Well, he pushes the truck down the hill.
Yeah, and then gets in
hops
it and he rolls in it. He rolls down the hill.
And then
damn near catches him.
He did. And then it's not a hill, it's a mountain. He's just driving straight down.
Best part of Commando, though.
We ripped the seat out?
No.
Oh.
Best part of Commando. Remember when I told you I'd kill you last? I lied. He drops the guy. I forgot. I lied. And it just drops the guy off the cliff. That's the best part.
It is.
But right before that is when he rips out the seat and he's sitting down.
It cracks me up too because the Porsche gets rolled.
Yeah.
He flips it back.
He just flips it. He's like, whoa.
Takes the seat out, and then when he's driving away, the Porsche's in like perfect shape.
Oh yeah, it's good. It just rolled, and he flipped it over, and then he threw the bad guy off a cliff.
He did.
But yeah,
I miss those Arnold movies.
Oh man, there's nobody.
I didn't realize how much I missed it. I seen Eraser on Netflix. I was like, "Oh, son,
I'm gonna have to watch. I'm gonna visit Eraser again."
It's weird because they got that
I lied.
high tech gun that they're not supposed to be developing, but the company that the girl works for, they're developing. So the FBI talks her into basically going in and like getting copies of the disc.
Yeah,
but it's like a laser rifle. You can zoom through like walls.
Oh, okay, I remember this now.
Yeah, pick up heat signatures.
I remember this now.
Yeah, so I like it. I mean, I thought it was a really good movie, and
I don't know. True Lies. There's
True
another one that
Lies.
has the same feel. True Lies is one of his best movies.
He's sitting there with the truth serum they get him with. He's like, "I'm gonna kill you with this. Then we'll kill you. Then we'll snap your neck." He's like, "What makes you think that?" He's like, "Cause my cuffs. I picked the lock." He throws like the cutting utensil for a doctor uses.
Well, see now you
scalpel. Yeah, he throws a scalpel.
Throws a scalpel at the guy. I mean, Arnold, man, he just had a string. All those movies we mentioned, what a string of movies.
Oh yeah, no joke.
And we're probably going to have to go back and do a whole episode on Arnold movies.
Oh, that would be that's a good one.
Yeah, just Arnold movies as a whole. So many great. Kindergarten Cop's one we haven't mentioned yet. I did just watch Kindergarten Cop the other day because Allison had never seen it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm also taking. My wife hasn't seen a lot of these older movies, which me and Brent we like to introduce people to these older movies.
Oh yeah.
And I'm taking my wife kind of on a Kurt Russell tour as well. We watched Captain Ron.
Captain Ron.
That's a great movie.
That is a great one.
Captain Ron is a great movie. And then we watched The Thing.
Oh yeah.
Where he's in the base, and then last night we watched the Stargate movie.
Oh, that's
a great movie. Stargate spawned a whole series of TV shows.
Yeah.
Did you ever watch SG-1?
I watched a little bit of it.
I love that show, man. I didn't watch it until years later when it came back on Netflix.
That was on TNT, wasn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, I thought so.
And then, I didn't watch it for years later until it came out on Netflix. But man, I got into that, and then as soon as I started Stargate Atlantis, they took it off Netflix, and I couldn't watch the rest of them. So it's kind of a tragedy.
Yeah, that's not cool, Netflix.
But yeah, man, Arnold movies. We're gonna put that on the dockets.
Yeah.
We're gonna do a whole. We're just gonna have to watch some Arnold movies and do a whole episode on Arnold.
Of one actor, I think Arnold. It'd be Arnold and Stallone. Stallone would be a close second.
Yeah.
But to me, I could sit down and watch Arnold movies all day, just because, I don't know, the excitement in them, and I can't really right off think of a bad Arnold movie, of an action movie from the 2000. I don't know, it might have been 90.
Twins was pretty crappy.
I like Twins.
I don't know.
Danny DeVito.
I can't do Twins. I'm sorry.
Well, Junior. I could not do Junior.
Junior, that's okay. Yeah, he had a couple bad ones.
I like Twins though.
90% of his movies are just amazing.
Yeah. And the action and the story on all of them, I mean, is really good.
See, that's the difference between Arnold and Stallone, though. That's why Arnold is over Stallone for me, because Stallone was hitting it high in the 80s, Over the Top, Rocky, Rambo, but then later he made some crappy movies.
Well,
man.
I can even think of one before that.
What's
Kim's been on me about watching it.
Oh boy,
Rhinestone.
Rhinestone. No,
Have you ever heard of it?
I've never even seen it. No.
Well, he's a country music star.
Oh Lord.
I haven't watched it, but every time I see Kim, she's like, "You ready to watch Rhinestone?"
Oh no.
Oh hell no, Kim! I ain't watching Rhinestone.
No. Hell no.
It's. I mean, he's wearing this big cowboy hat, but it's like a tall one.
Oh boy. No, Stallone doesn't belong in a cowboy hat.
That's what I said. I was like,
no way.
Yeah, we were playing Phase 10 last night. She's like, they're talking about Rhinestone. And I was like, Jeremy's like, yeah, Brent wants to watch that. And I was like, Brent does not want to watch that.
Brent does not want to watch Rhinestone.
But yeah, he's made some bad ones.
Kim, if you're listening, we ain't gonna watch Rhinestone.
No, that's real.
That ain't gonna happen. Just ain't gonna do it. But so I'm gonna move on now to a little segment called Things I Hate. And this week we got a pretty good one. Special shout out to my cousin John. It's the Xbox One.
It sucks.
It sucks. It's terrible. People who own it are stupid.
And can't read good.
They can't read good. No, I just had to put that. He was giving me some static for kind of putting down Xbox owners, which me and Pickens have a tendency to do because we're PlayStation ride or die from way back.
Oh yeah.
You know, I do have an Xbox sitting over there though.
PS1. I've been with you. The long haul.
See, I had 64. I never had a PS1, so I'm not as OG as Pickens is because I'm a Nintendo kid too. Yeah. I bought the GameCube before I bought the PS2. Real story.
Tear.
I mean, I love the GameCube.
It cut me deep.
GameCube is awesome.
I have one at the house. It was Lacey's. I don't even plug it up.
Oh my gosh!
I just roll my PlayStation.
I don't have to plug up the GameCube anymore because the Wii was backwards compatible.
Yep.
Play GameCube games.
It does upset me to see your Xbox sitting over there.
Let me tell you something about.
I want to take a bat to it right now.
The original Xbox. Brent and I and our buddy Matt fought over this for years. PlayStation 2 versus original Xbox.
Yep.
So I went and got an original Xbox for one reason: to play the Star Wars games.
Yeah, those are good.
Knights of the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic 2, Jedi Academy, Jedi Outcast, Republic Commando is an awesome game. So I just got the Xbox to play that. I also have Halo and Halo 2. Jet Set Radio Future is a great game. You know, I have a few games for the original Xbox. Yeah. But then, okay, the 360, let's be real about it. Chewie fell down.
Oh no, Chewie!
What'd you do to Chewie?
What happened? I bumped him.
Oh boy! Now he's just gonna.
We'll see him right here.
All right, he ain't gonna be in the camera, but we still sit him.
Put him right here.
Oh boy, that ain't gonna. You just sit him down there. Okay, Chewie's gonna have to go for a second. Now you. Oh my God. Now, but anyway, the original Xbox, and then the Xbox 360 comes out. And, you know, it comes out first before the PlayStation 3. We still roll with the PlayStation 3, but let's be real. I'll kind of admit the Xbox 360 kind of won that generation. Pickens ain't going to admit it.
No, because I know PS3 had its problems, but we didn't have to worry about the red ring of death either.
Well, but, I mean, I did have to replace my PS3.
I mean, I did too.
Twice.
I did too, but I mean...
I mean, come on, man. Microsoft with the red ring of death, they're like, hey, send us back your thing and we'll fix it.
We're comparing apples to oranges here.
Well, it's apples to apples here, blatantly.
No. Didn't have to worry about the red ring of death.
But Microsoft fixed that.
PS3.
Yeah, it just overheated and died, and you got an orange light, and then you had to send it back to them. That was real. That's what happened to me twice. I had to send it back to them. I had to pay $150 each time.
Yeah.
Microsoft, you get the red ring of death, you send it to them, they fix it for free. They send you a new one. Think about that, pal.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, I mean, that's just being real here.
PS Tray, son.
But then we get to the PlayStation 4 era. PlayStation 4 comes out first.
Man, Xbox screwed up there.
Xbox got hosed this generation. The Xbox One, and why is it not called the 720?
I don't know.
That's the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen.
Isn't that the Xbox One sitting there?
Oh, that you got to call that the original Xbox.
That don't even make sense.
You got to call it the original.
Whoever comes up with these names needs smacked right in the mouth.
Well, that's real. Have you seen that meme that's like it shows a picture of an Xbox One, and then it says one Xbox One, and then it says it shows an Xbox One in a box, and it says one Xbox One box, and then it's like one Xbox One X, one Xbox One X box. Because it's a box of a Xbox One X.
It's just
it's ridiculous.
PlayStation 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's pretty
simple. It should have been Xbox. It should have just called it Xbox 2. You know?
Yeah, I mean
instead of 360. But then now instead of going 360 to 720 or even 540, I'll take the Xbox 540.
Oh, the Xbox 1080 sounds pretty cool too.
Well, I mean that would be after the 720. You got to go to the 1080.
I just keep taking it up.
Oh boy.
But
yeah, I mean
Xbox 9000.
Oh boy. But you know
the Tony Hawk of Xbox.
He did a 900. It's not even 900. You're like 10 times off. Factor.
You say you couldn't land a 9,000? Is that what you're saying?
Maybe in space. I mean.
X-Force.
Oh my God. Space Force.
Space Force.
The Space Force. Trump on that Space Force, man. Yeah, people don't know the aliens are coming. You don't know? Listen, if Trump became the president, he saw some stuff, man. He was like, oh man, he knows some stuff we don't know. And he's like, we got to get this Space Force out, y'all.
I feel like he's just catching up on a Chappelle show. And
Mars,
son.
Red
M-A-R-S, Mars, bitches.
Red Rocks. Yeah. Don't drop that shit.
He had some yellow cake.
Yellow cake from Africa. Don't drop that shit.
Pray to God he don't drop that shit.
But, yeah, that's a good point.
I just feel like he's catching up on season 2 of Chappelle Show.
Yeah, I don't want to get political on the show, though, but I think it's about time we go into our last segment here. It is, in honor of my cousin John, the top 10 couch co-op games of all time. And here's our list.
Yeah,
So, coming in at number 10, we've got Army of Two.
Yes.
PlayStation 3 game, I believe, or was it PlayStation 2?
It was either 3. I cannot.
I think it was 3. We haven't played it in forever.
We have not.
But I remember we loved it.
It was a fun game.
I'm pretty sure it was 3.
You customize. You get different helmets.
Yeah, you customize your guys. They came out with the second one, didn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they came out Army of 2.
Yep.
And I don't know if that's what it was called.
I don't think that's what it was called.
I don't think that's what it was called. Well, Army of 2, man, it's just a first-person shooter.
Yep.
And you and your buddy, you can customize your masks and all your riot gear and stuff, and you can get different guns.
Yep.
And you just go. It's a first-person shooter.
You know what one I just thought of we didn't put on there?
What's that?
Kane and Lynch.
Oh, Kane and Lynch. That's going to have to go into my honorable mention section.
It was so fun.
It was, but I mean... No, you're going off script.
I'm sorry, man. It just hit me.
I asked him before the show.
Too.
I asked him before the show, is there any other games you want to add to this list?
Kane and Lynch, I forgot about it.
All right, you want to talk about Kane and Lynch real quick? Go ahead.
That game was sweet. You're both, one's crazy, the other is addicted to painkillers. I don't know.
Kind of like Trevor from Grand Theft Auto 5.
But they're both, they're wild, and I don't know. I just remember, it seemed how far advanced those games were.
Yeah.
Because, you'd be hiding behind a wall. And, to me, that's one of the first ones I really remember. When people shooting at you, they could actually shoot through the wall and it would hurt you. So you couldn't. Yeah. I don't know. To me, that is one of the... Because we had a lot of fun with those games.
We did. Yeah.
As well as Army of Two. I mean, to me, those kind of come hand in hand.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed both of them.
Right, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it was on PS3.
So we'll say tie at number 10.
I'm fine with that.
Kane and Lynch, Army of Two.
Yeah, that was...
But yeah, man, so there's some great games on the PS3,
Yeah.
This Army of Two, I just remember just waves and waves of bad guys.
Yeah.
And the best thing, you could have one guy firing and he would draw all the fire, and then the other guy could, sneak around.
Well, and then they had that sniper mode too, where both of you have him lined up, and there's a countdown like 3, 2, 1, boom, and then you take them both out at the same time.
Yeah, that was a great game.
Yeah,
man.
it really was.
So check that one out. You can probably get it for really cheap.
Oh, I guarantee it.
Yeah, I guarantee you can get that for really cheap. So check that one out. Number 9 is a game we just went through. We did our first 3 episodes of the podcast. We talked about this game, so I won't talk about it too much. You can go back and check out our first 3 episodes on YouTube. Yep. But it's A Way Out.
Yeah,
it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was a solid story.
Yeah, I had to put it over Army of Two. Yep. Just because, it was a pretty solid story until the end.
Yep.
We hated the end. No spoilers here, but we did not enjoy the end of that game.
No, we did not.
But, the whole first part, breaking out of prison, that was great. The part where you're in between 2 walls and you're leaning against each other's backs, and you got to have your timing perfect.
It was a really good game.
It was really good. We had a good time playing it until the end, but yeah. So since we just talked about that one, I won't talk anymore about it. Now, the next one is going to be controversial to Brent, but I put it on the list. It's Halo. Number 8.
I'm getting out of here.
Now you sit yourself down, because Halo, man. I didn't play this game. I never had Xbox. I didn't play this game till years later. The only thing we went over our buddy Matt's house. He had Xbox, but all we played was like Fable.
Yeah.
Because I love Fable. That's another one I have over there. But Halo, man, this was the first time where this is a great game. And I know you're an Xbox hater, but this is a great game, man. This is the first time you had a first-person shooter, and then, you could drive around. You had different vehicles. You had the Warthog. One guy was driving, one guy was in the back shooting the big gun on the back.
I don't know what to say to you right now.
And it had online, one of the first games.
I didn't sign off on this list.
You blatantly signed off on it. I even asked you before the thing, but Halo, man, I don't know how you deny that Halo is a great game.
I remember playing the deathmatch a lot. When we would be over Matt's, me, Matt, Billy. I think you played. I think you were there.
I was there.
We played. It was fun. I mean,
but did you play the campaign?
I never
co-op?
really played the campaign.
Man, the co-op campaign. We're gonna have to do it. I got the original Xbox. I have Halo. We're gonna have to do some split screen.
Oh man.
I only have one S controller. Then the other controller is the old Duke controller. The big. That was our main problem with Xbox.
Yep, I didn't like it.
The big Duke controller.
The Duke controller. The analogs are in the wrong spot. Freaks me out.
Well, I mean, they are a little offset. The PlayStation 2 controller has them right beside each other.
That's another thing that makes me mad. If you have a PS4, you can buy an Xbox controller for that. Why the hell is that? What kind of marketing is that? Can you tell me?
Well, I mean, it's not an official.
No,
Microsoft.
But you can buy it.
Well, yeah, our buddy Brandon always brought over his.
I want to smack him in the mouth too. I told him, I was like, you are not plugging that up in my system.
The guy brings an Xbox 360 controller over for the PlayStation.
But it does. To me, it don't make any sense how you can.
Well, you're just used to the button layout.
I guess.
Just because you're used to, since PlayStation 1, they came out with the analogs. Just because you're used to those.
That blew my mind.
I mean, the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, and PlayStation 3 controller are all the same. They never changed it. Except the PlayStation 3 controller sucks because of the shoulder buttons.
Yeah.
Bump the mic again, I always do it. But the shoulder buttons, they suck.
They did.
Also, the shoulder buttons are a little better on PlayStation 4, but I like to have my button, they tried to copy Xbox too much. I like to have a button, like a trigger, but, I mean... I don't know. They didn't do it right on PS3.
Well, the PS2 wasn't very good either.
See,
because it was more flat. I mean, they were right there.
Yeah. Well, but like PlayStation 3, They just had the triggers hanging off the end.
Yeah.
And anytime you put your controller down, you pause the game, put your controller down, you hit the trigger, and then stuff starts back up. Or you're watching Netflix, you sit your controller down, and then it starts fast forwarding.
Yep.
So, but the Xbox, the original Xbox, see, I can't say Xbox One anymore.
You cannot.
The original Xbox, the controller's a little wonky, but when they came out with that Xbox,
you actually had the trigger.
The smaller controller, it was a lot better, and that's what. But Halo, man, I remember the first time me and my buddy played it. I didn't play it till like college, and I was like, I've never beat the campaign mode of Halo. My buddy's like, my buddy Brandon, he's like, you got to come over then. And, we got to play it. So I came over to his dorm room. He had the original Xbox. Maybe he had the 360 with Halo on it. I don't even remember. But came over to his dorm room. We played through the campaign, and I thought, man, this was years after it came out. This was a great game. It's just like the first time you roll out there, one of you gets in the driver's seat, and one of you gets on the gun in the back of that Warthog. And it is legit. And I never liked the multiplayer for Halo. I actually never liked it because I don't like multiplayer games where you have to shoot guys like 1,000 times before they die. I like my Battlefield. You shoot them 3 or 4 times, they're dead. You know. But Halo is kind of always, you shoot somebody 1,000 times and then they shoot you twice in the head and you're done. Yep. And I always, when the 360 came out, playing Halo 3 or Halo, whichever one it was, I'd go over to my buddy's house and I could sign on as a guest on his Xbox Live and play online with him. Yeah, I don't know. I suck at it. I'm terrible at it. But Halo number 8, deal with it.
I mean, that's fine.
I mean, the man read the list.
I mean, it's fine.
So now, guys, those are kind of the newer games that we had. The next one, I'm going to let Brent talk more about this than me, but number 7, Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Zombies Ate My Neighbors. This game, like, I used to go over to my stepbrother's house, and he had a Super Nintendo. And
it's on Sega, too. It's on Genesis.
I didn't even know it was on Sega until, like, a couple months ago.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. If I knew it was on Sega, I would have had it a long time ago.
Yeah.
But of course now it's like $50. But
yeah, it's tough.
But no, I really that was one of my favorite co-op games when I was probably 8, maybe 9.
Yeah,
when we were playing it.
So what I remember from that game, right? You're there's zombies attacking. You're going around like saving people.
Yeah, you're in a neighborhood and you're just going around like taking zombies out and stuff and
zombies out and saving people. And then at the end, Jason comes out, right?
Yeah.
And he chases you around. You got to escape the level.
Yeah, he has a chainsaw. And
You
got to get off the map. You know? But it was, I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
So, that's kind of a nostalgic one. The rest of these are pretty nostalgic choices. Yeah. But, going over to your cousin's house and playing that's always cool.
Yeah.
Since we're talking, since my cousin John, requested this list, I don't know if he remembers this. We used to play a game called Extreme G on the Nintendo 64. And I apologize, somebody, if you can hear the background, somebody is playing. There's a truck going on or something outside. Somebody's got some bass music going on right now. But me and John used to play Extreme G. And it's just this racing. It's not a co-op game. I'm just bringing this up because of nostalgia. It's a racing game where you're like in these little. It looks like a Tron light cycle, and they're really quick. It's kind of like the F-Zero, but it was for it wasn't F-Zero. But you could go around and you could shoot other players. It was like F-Zero combined with Road Rash. Because you could shoot other players with all these special stuff, man. And I just remember like drinking High C, Orange Lava Burst, or the the Ecto Cooler, the Ghostbusters High C. And me and him played that game on the N64 like constantly. And and I just remember stupid stuff like, he didn't really we didn't like the same type of music. Like he's more of a country music guy. And I just got a Godsmack CD. And I listened to Godsmack and play Extreme G, and the poor guy had to sit there through that. When he came over to Mama and Papa's, and I live right across the street from my Mama and Papa's house. So anytime he came over there, we came over. We played Extreme G on Nintendo 64. We either went and rented it, or I eventually ended up buying it. But just some good memories there, man. I love that stuff.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, man. If you want to spend $50 on a retro game, go play Zombies Ate My Neighbors. The next one, number 6, is I'll kind of combine the X-Men arcade game, which also kind of includes X-Men on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah, I played that a lot.
Yeah. So this was really revolutionary game, and it kind of goes along with the Simpsons arcade game too.
Yeah.
But it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up game is what they call these now. We just called them a game. We just called them like a the fighting game or something. Yeah. We didn't ever call them beat-em-ups. But so it's a side-scrolling beat-em-up. You go through the level with the X-Men. You get Cyclops, Wolverine.
Was Gambit on there?
I think Gambit was on there.
He had the stick, didn't he?
Yeah, he had the stick, and then they had Nightcrawler too.
Yeah, I don't remember Nightcrawler, but
that's the blue guy, right?
Yeah,
Nightcrawler's the blue guy.
Right.
Yeah, they had Nightcrawler on there too. I'm pretty sure. But if I'm wrong on that, somebody correct me. But you just went through, and it's kind of like Streets of Rage, which may be a little hint there at what's coming later. But a lot of what I'll say is, a lot of the couch co-op games in the olden days were these side-scrolling beat-em-up games.
Oh yeah,
that was the big trend in those days because it was easy to make. The games are easy to make, and
well, on that Sega Classics game that we got, there's so many of them. There's that comic,
ton of them.
That comic thing, it's like a comic strip, and it's really cool. And of course, Golden Axe. All three of those.
Golden Axe is honorable mention. I got here.
I mean that So there's on Sega they had so many games like that,
and they had X-Men on the Super Nintendo too. I'm pretty sure, but I remember the Genesis game because I think it was better. But I think Genesis was a little better at the side-scrolling beat-em-ups, except maybe one game that we'll get into later. But man, the X-Men arcade game, awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Classic. Number 5, I put Contra in there. So
I had a lot of fun with Contra.
So this is the original NES, Nintendo Entertainment System. And I've never beat Contra.
Yeah, I don't think I have either.
It is a hard game. It's got that classic Nintendo difficulty curve to it. But you're just, it's actually easier on one player.
Yeah.
But they have the co-op mode where you can have two guys. The only problem with it, I don't know if you remember this, but like there's a part later in the game where you got to jump on these ledges, and the level moves up instead of sideways.
Uh-huh. And
then you got to jump on these ledges, and if one player jumps up too far, they can kill the other player.
Oh, I think I do remember that.
Yeah, that's kind of Contra right there. But yeah, you just two players. It's a shooter game, and then you get to the end of the first level, and then there's like this. It's like a 3D hallway, and you roll around and shoot, and then you advance through the 3D hallway going forward, and then the next stage is like one of those up-scrolling stages. So Contra was also very like revolutionary in that sense because they had the different scrolls, but. I'm assuming you played this one with your brother and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we played that game quite a bit.
Yeah, it's a good one, man. It's kind of the most classic, like, shooter game, around. But always legit. So, this one, I think this is, coming in at number 4, is Resident Evil 5. Yeah. This one, man... We could probably go on for a long time about this game.
Yeah, me and Rocky spent a lot of time playing this. And were you still in college at the time?
I think I was.
So
Yeah.
like when Rocky would come in, I'd go pick him up, and he always came over to the house, or his mom would drop him off.
Yeah.
And we rolled.
I would stay there all week.
Yeah, he'd be there all weekend.
And then in the summer, I lived there basically 4 days of the week.
He did. But we'd sit there, and to me, this is one of the best co-op games of the new like the PS3.
Yeah, say what you want about how it relates to the other Resident Evil games. A lot of people don't like Resident Evil 5 because they say it's too action-packed and stuff.
Yeah.
But take it as a co-op game.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'll never forget at the end when the girl has that thing on her chest, and you have to shoot that.
Yeah.
To and eventually get it off. So like Rocky pulls out the gun and he just shoots her right in the head and it kills her. It's like, I don't know. That's one of the ones that just I remember. But we spent so many hours on this game. The bosses were a blast. I mean, it was a lot of
big
teamwork.
Bosses,
Bosses. The guy with that big mace or something. I mean, he's like a story tall, and you're trying to take him out.
Yeah, and then I remember one of the hardest bosses was like this spider guy in a hallway.
Yeah,
and you had to run to one end of the hallway and like keep shooting him, and then run away from him.
Oh yeah, because
remember that guy?
Yeah, because you had to get him to follow him into the incinerator.
That's right.
And then one of us had to push the button.
We could never figure that out the first time we played it.
Yeah, we were just trying to kill him. And
we wasted all of our bullets on that dude. But no, you had to lead him into the incinerator.
Yep.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there were so many like that. And I loved it because you're picking up items. Those plants, the green and red plants you made into potions.
That's classic Resident Evil right there.
So, there's so many great memories on that game. And like I said, I think we beat it 3 or 4 times. Because after you beat the game, you had money and you could buy different outfits.
Yeah, it's like New Game Plus mode, right?
Yeah. Different outfits. You could get unlimited ammo.
Yeah.
Keep the guns that you started, that you finished the game with.
Yeah.
And but no, that is on my all time.
No, it's up there.
It has to be. But we spent a lot of time on that game.
And one thing before we move on about that one is the boss battle with Wesker at the end.
At the end was insane.
It is ridiculous. Like there's the whole thing with the helicopter, and you got to shoot the rocket launcher at it, and then he falls in the lava, but then he comes back, and then then you got to fight him again. He just won't die.
Well, and I remember one of us is on one side, and he's chasing you or something.
That's right. Yeah.
And you have to keep running while the other is on the other side. You have to get far enough ahead where when your guy jumps. Or you shove something down so he can jump on it.
Yeah,
it's a pretty long sequence of things that happen.
Yeah, it's kind of like a cutscene, but it's not a cutscene.
Yeah,
yeah.
It's like I said, we had so much fun playing this game.
I love Resident Evil 5. But so moving on, we're getting into our top 3 here, Pickens.
Top 3,
and number 3 is any wrestling game on the Nintendo 64, but specifically WCW versus NWO Revenge.
Oh, this guy, he could do. Sting come out with his bat.
Sting came out with a bat.
Awesome. The combat and everything was just great. You could reach into the crowd and just pull out random stuff.
You could reach under the ring.
Stuff.
The Nintendo 64 controller was really good for it too because you had the C buttons.
Yeah,
and the C buttons all did different moves.
Yep.
Which was pretty legit. And then one thing I remember the intro. Remember the intro on that game because it had like this semi truck.
Yep.
And then the lightning was striking, and then the NWO came out, and like. They ended up like stopping the truck or something. They beat the crap out of the guy. I don't even remember. I just remember that, the truck and the lightning and all this stuff. And then, quick story about this game. Me and my buddy Flint, we played this game constantly. And I was a big Rey Mysterio fan. And he was a Billy Kidman fan. Yep. And you can challenge the titles in the game. And you got to go through for any championship you go through and you fight like 10 fights and then you get to the end and then you finally you win the belt. But we created custom outfits for Mysterio and Kidman, and he would come over an afternoon, we would win the tag team title with them, then beat them with somebody that we wanted to beat, and then beat it again, and just keep doing that. Win the tag team title like over and over again, and that was just an awesome game. Man.
It was a lot of fun.
And all the wrestlers, they had the first game, WCW versus NWO. They just had the white NWO, but then the red NWO had formed by the time Revenge came out.
Yeah,
and that was the height of the WCW.
It was.
You had Goldberg, Diamond Dallas Page. You had the red NWO, the white NWO.
Well,
you had Sting.
Well, and even in the character selection, it was broke down like that.
Yep.
It was WCW, and it had, like you just said,
Goldberg.
Diamond Dallas Page, Goldberg, there was a couple others.
They had Raven's Flock.
Raven's Flock.
Which
had,
was the
Wolf Pack, the white NWO, the Four Horsemen. They had their own, and I don't know. There's just so much, Just it was broke down like that. So
I just remember a bunch of stupid wrestlers on there, like Ultimo Dragon, Disco Inferno, La Parka,
the chairman of WCW. Because he came out with a chair every time.
Freaking La Parka, man. But I just love that.
Psychosis.
Game. I love that game, man. There's countless memories with that.
Oh yeah.
I actually ended up with my buddy Cody, his copy. I'm pretty sure because he came over one time. I'm like, hey man, can I have this? He's like, yeah. This is which is really crazy of a thing for a friend to do. But yeah, man, any wrestling game, even the WWF Attitude games, on the N64 are legit.
Yeah.
PlayStation 1 too. They're great.
Yeah.
So, moving on, number 2 on the list is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 4: Turtles in Time.
Oh yeah.
And this is just the best beat 'em up on Super Nintendo.
Yes, it is.
There's no doubt. You got all 4 turtles in the game. Because in the NES, they had Turtles 1, 2, and 3. And they kind of sucked. They weren't, they had the arcade game out at the time. The arcade was awesome. So then Turtles 4 come out. And I have Turtles 4 in my Super Nintendo right now. Turtles 4 comes out, and it is just like the arcade game. Because it's on the Super Nintendo.
Yep.
And, you can be all 4 turtles. You can do co-op and go through and fight, Bebop, Rocksteady, Krang, you fight Shredder. There's some levels where you have to grab guys and throw them towards the screen because Shredder is sitting there with a gun trying to shoot you with rockets, and then the only way to kill him is throw guys at the screen. But yeah, man, all the turtles have their different abilities. Mm-hmm. They have different weapons. Donatello is always my favorite because he had the staff. Yeah, man, it's just a legit game.
Oh yeah,
I mean, what can you say about it? But go play it.
Go play it, son.
Go play it. That's about it. We might play a little bit at here after we play some Halo because. We're playing Halo now. Didn't know if you knew that.
I didn't get the memo.
No, we're gonna play some 2K5 after this. But anyways, guys. So now before we get to our number 1, I'll go through some honorable mentions. Double Dragon 2 for the NES. Double Dragon's always awesome. The Donkey Kong Country games.
Oh, son, yeah.
I didn't put them on the list, but
man.
Donkey Kong
Country, that we spent a lot of time playing that.
Oh yeah,
that was probably one of my favorite.
The graphics,
Super Nintendo, wasn't it?
Yeah, Super Nintendo.
It was probably my favorite Super Nintendo game that we played.
Yeah, the graphics were legit.
Yeah, they were.
The game was long too. You really got your money's worth out of it. It was a really long game. The minecart levels are ridiculous.
Man, you gotta jump and
And I don't know if you've played for the Wii. They had Donkey Kong Country Returns.
I hadn't played it.
And then the Wii U, they had Tropical Freeze, which I believe they're bringing out on the Switch.
It's
now.
out on the Switch.
It's out on the Switch.
I just haven't got around to getting
You
it.
need to pick that up, man. It's legit games. A couple that only I've played. I don't think Brent has played them. Joe and Mac 2 for the Super Nintendo. Awesome game. It's like a prehistoric game. You fight dinosaurs and all kinds of stuff. It was an arcade game for a long time. Sunset Riders. You would really like that one since you like westerns. Because it's a western game, and it's like a side-scrolling beat-em-up, but you shoot.
Oh, that's cool.
And yeah, it's legit, man. Sunset Riders is a great game, but it's one of those now. It's like $100 or whatever.
Of course it is.
You know, Golden Axe.
That's
honorable mention on the Sega Genesis. Love that game. And then one that nobody's ever heard of called General Chaos.
Never.
You ever heard of this game? Well, I have it right over here on the shelf. General Chaos. It's awesome. Basically, you get 4 troops. Each side has 4 troops, and you can play on the same team. So each player gets 2 troops, and then you have like a flamethrower guy, and you have a rocket launcher guy, you have like an assault class guy, and then you have like a medic class guy, right? And it's 4-on-4, and you go on a map and you try to put your players in strategic position. You don't control the guys shooting, but you put them in a position to where they can kill the other players. It's this really cool game, man.
Sounds like it.
It's. I think I got it for like $30 for Sega Genesis. It's a Genesis game.
Really?
Yeah, it's a Sega. I might just let you borrow it. You
try it out.
But General Chaos, man, I haven't played it recently, but great game. Love it. Me and my friend Travis always played General Chaos. We rented it every week. We rolled up in there. We rented it every week. But that's our honorable mention list. A few games that hopefully a couple games you haven't heard of before.
Yeah.
Maybe Joe and Mac and General Chaos. But number 1, the greatest couch co-op game of all time.
Yeah.
Going back to the Sega Genesis, which apparently we just love the Sega Genesis.
That was my first real system. So
me
and my brother played a lot.
Yeah.
And this game, we spend hours playing it.
Yeah, and it is Streets of Rage 2.
Yes.
Which is the best of the Streets of Rage games in my opinion.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
But this is just the beat 'em ups to end all beat 'em up.
Yeah.
I mean, you got knives and lead pipes and shattered bottles you can stab people with. You got the strong guy. His name was like Axel or something like that. And then you had the girl who was really fast. And then you had
she had those fans or something too. Didn't she? Didn't she? Or maybe she did.
I don't know if she had fans, but she just kicked a lot.
Oh, maybe that's what it was. Yeah.
And then you had
was it Max?
Max.
I don't know. That was
right. The guy, he had a yellow shirt on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Streets of Rage 2, man. What a great game.
Oh yeah. That's
the music to it too.
Yeah.
I'd like to have that on vinyl, man. Like the soundtrack to it. I know they sold them. I watched the Happy Console Gamer on YouTube, and he got the Streets of Rage 2 soundtrack on vinyl, and I'm like really jealous of that. That'd be awesome because it's just got that the Sega Genesis music overall. It's only something you'll hear on the Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
It's like it's unique to that. So, but yeah, anything else you got on Streets of Rage 2 there?
I think that's about it, man. I'll probably say that's probably my all-time, and not just couch co-op games on the Genesis. I think that is probably one of my favorite games. Just on on
the Genesis all time
on the Genesis, because that, like I said, we spent a lot of time playing that game.
Yep.
Me and my brother, and I miss those times.
Like I was talking, me and John playing Extreme G on the Nintendo 64, a game nobody even cares about anymore. But, I still have it.
I mean, I don't know, man. Those are simple times, and it almost feels like everything's so much better now, but and yeah, you don't have trophies or anything like
graphics
that.
Wise,
wise, but man, to me, those are the best times.
Oh yeah,
just sitting there, for hours, not having anything to do, just sitting there in the floor, playing some Streets of Rage or
on an old crappy TV, like a 19-inch,
Yeah, maybe it's because I just turned 30. Maybe it's hitting me, but I really, I don't know. I miss that.
Oh yeah,
I really do.
Yeah. Which is what I'm going back and playing 2K5. I play these old games all the time. I guess I'm still chasing that feeling.
Yeah, and as good as stuff has gotten on the PS4, and some people say Xbox.
Yeah.
It's the simple stuff that really
look at it. I mean, we had one game from the PlayStation 4 on our list.
Yeah.
Most of them are just old retro games.
Well, that's because the new stuff has just gotten to where it's online.
Yeah, it's just all online.
And there's not a real reason to, before that was a reason to hang out with your buddy. Hey, man, I'm going to come over now. Well, I'll just play online. I'll talk to you through that.
I mean, me and Brent have literally been sitting here wanting to play something on the couch, and then hey man, go home. We'll play Battlefront.
Yeah, it's just
go home so we can play Battlefield. It's stupid.
Yeah,
it sucks. But
even you go back to the NASCAR game. I know you heard me talk about it before. That was always a 2-player game.
Yep.
But then for some reason, like 2007. We bought it, brought it to the house, went to hook it up, and the only way you can play 2-player is online.
Yep.
Now the new ones, they finally brought back the 2-player thing, but to me, I didn't really play those a whole lot.
No.
But when I made sure I got it because of the
somebody come over, you want to pop it in.
Yeah,
that was always it.
That's it.
Yeah, man, we just miss these couch co-op days, and John, thanks for listening to the podcast, man, and if you got any other topics you want to hear about, we'll make a list or we'll run through it or just talk about it, whatever.
We're big on, we enjoy doing the top 10 lists.
But the Xbox One still sucks.
Yeah.
I mean, I can probably do a top 10 reasons of why the Xbox One sucks.
Oh yeah, I can think of
probably do 70.
Yeah,
top 70. We'll have to make out 12 episodes.
I mean, we could do a top 3 of maybe why it doesn't, but I mean, it would
top
still...
Top 3? You got 3?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, it's a Microsoft. It's tied to Microsoft. It takes a disc. I mean, that's.
Oh boy.
I mean, there's 2 there.
I don't even know what that means. But guys, that's it this week for the Couch Thoughts podcast. You can find us on Facebook, the Couch Thoughts Podcast. On YouTube, I'll put all the episodes on YouTube now. Just search Couch Thoughts Podcast. Don't search Couch Thoughts because a bunch of Jenna Marbles videos come up.
It does.
Because she has some video series called Thoughts from a Couch. And apparently, instead of just searching Couch Thoughts, you got to search Couch Thoughts Podcast. Guys, you can find this on Podomatic, Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, hopefully coming to Spotify eventually, but I don't know. It's kind of hard to get on there. It takes a long time for the approval process, but we'll get on there eventually. I don't know if anybody... I think we've been getting a lot of views on YouTube, so go head over to the YouTube, subscribe, give us a shout. Just thanks for listening, and until next week, we'll see you later.
Chewy out.
Chewy out.